The next step we're going to go with this flyer is we're going to enhance the page. With the text and graphics entered and formatted, the next step is to look at the page as a whole and determine if it looks finished in its current state. As you review the page, answer these questions. Does it need a page border to frame its contents, or would a page border make it look too busy? Is the spacing between paragraphs and graphics on the page adequate? Do sections of text or graphics look as if they're positioned too closely to the items above and below them? Does the flyer have too much space at the top or bottom? Should the contents be centered vertically? So what we're going to do is we're going to add a page border. You can add a border around the perimeter of the entire page, okay, and we're going to be using a line border. So to add a page border, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Design. Okay, then we're going to go to find the Borders and Shading button. I think you can just click Page Borders. There we go. We're going to go to the 6th border style. Okay, and then we're going to change the color. We're going to change it to Lime Accent 6, lighter 40%. And notice I am once again hovering over and finding the exact color I want. Okay, and you'll see right here it shows a preview. Okay, we're going to change the width of the arrow, making it get a little bit bigger. So we're going to do it to 4.5 points. So if you notice, it gets a little bit bigger. We're going to press OK, and then we have a page border. Okay, now we're going to change spacing before and after paragraphs. The default spacing above, which is it also means before a paragraph, in Word is 0 points, and then below it's 8 points. In the flyer, you want to increase the spacing below the paragraph containing the headline and above the signature line. Little fun fact, when you're writing a research paper, depending on the style, like MLA or APA, you might have to change the after spacing. It may call for 0 after spacing. So when we get to that unit, I'll go over that, or you can ask your English teacher in case you have that first before we go through it. So we're going to position the insertion point in the paragraph to be adjusted, which is the one containing the headline. Then I'm going to click on Layout on the ribbon, the Layout tab. We're going to click the spacing after down. So we're going to make it to its 12th point. Okay, so you can kind of see that it goes down a little bit more. It's more space. We're going to change. We're going to go to the paragraph as a signature line, and we're going to change the before to 12 point. Okay, so a little notation though, if you are doing this and it flows onto a second page, you can reduce the spacing above and below the paragraphs as necessary, just so that it looks good. Like I said, you want to make sure it's all on one page. Then we're going to center the page contents vertically. So that is basically places the same amount of space at the top and the bottom of the page. So we're going to click on the Layout tab, and then we're going to go to the Page Setup Dialog Box Launcher. And this is a good vocab word for you. When you're going through Microsoft Word, if you see this little symbol, this is a dialog box launcher. And what that dialog box is the box that pops up and gives you more options. So this gives me options to change my margins, the orientation, my pages, what kind of paper I want, the layout. Okay, so this is a dialog box launcher, and usually you'll get like a pop-up box that comes up, and you have to modify your settings. So that's a good little tip to know. So I already did the dialog box launcher. Now we're gonna go to the Layout tab, go to Vertical Alignment, and we're gonna go to Center. Okay. We're gonna press OK. Oops, someone's on Steam. Okay, so now the flyer is centered vertically. Page contents. Okay, so that is how we just added a page border. We changed spacing before and after paragraphs. We centered page contents vertically. And then lastly, before we stop, remember you always want to save. Maybe even after each video, you should save it from here on out. Just because, like I've said before, in case something happens to the computer lab, you want to make sure you have your saved document.